back on so you can see. I'll actually bring this out, but just so you can see. Okay, so what you're gonna do is unscrew the top part, and I didn't explain this in the last video, but you have to screw you put the hose on the nipple, and then you screw the little nut type thing up, and it'll hold the hose in place. And then undo all the clips right here. Okay, there should be multiples around all the sides, on the whole, all the way around. So hold on, let me see if this is good angle here. See if that's a good camera angle real quick to be watching from. Yeah, that's decent. It's not the best, but it's decent. I can zoom in a little bit. See? I'll kind of be in the way though. I'll explain what I'm doing though. Because I can't really do this one-handed. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the top off. Okay? Make sure you can get to it. This is a clip that fell off. It does that occasionally. Ooh, that's not melt plastic. That's not good. Okay. But that clip, they fall off. They're little metal pieces that go through to hold them on. They fall out. You just have to get them. Be careful. As you pick them up, be careful. And you see the top there? I'm trying. I don't know if you can see the top. Anyways, but I'm gonna pull so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull the canister out. You can only pull it so far. I'm gonna pull the canister out of the underneath side, and at this point, I'm pretty sure all the water is out of the canister. So you can take, this is the output piece that's at the bottom of the canister. You can unscrew that and then pull the bigger hose off the nipple, and you should be okay as far as leaking water. Just have that aiming up, and there shouldn't be enough water in there that you'll have to worry about it. Okay, and then pull your canister out. Underneath, I would lay a towel down so that you're not getting water everywhere. That's personal preference. I don't have one right now. Doing this one-handed is going to be a challenge. And then you take the lid off. Mine gets water in the top. It gets water in the top right here between this part and this part, but it fills that little, there's kind of like a reservoir type thing in there. It fills that up, but it never leaks out. Once it gets full, it stops filling. So it never really leaks out. Okay? So this is what the inside of a dirty filter looks like. You can kind of see it. The lighting is kind of bad in this room, so I'll get my light out. Hold on a minute, sorry. Okay. That's what the inside of a dirty filter looks like. It's pretty dirty right now. It's dirtier than I thought it was. So what's in there right now on the top is, hell, I don't know what I'm going to do with this light. Hold on, let me adjust. Let me adjust my lighting real quick. It's overexposed right there. Anyways, it's not really wanting to stay under, so let me adjust that real quick. Adjust it. It's not really wanting to stay up, which sucks. So I'll move it over here where it'll stay up. Actually, this is all going to be edited out, so you won't see any of it. Okay, So, if I decide to edit that out, I'll edit it out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyways, so you have this piece. This goes on the top. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. I'm not going to get all the way down to the bottom because my filter is established and I need to be quick. Okay, so there's one of these at the top and there's one of these at the bottom. At the bottom, it sits in there like this with the feet down. At the top, it sits with the feet facing up. Okay, so take that out and get your filter pad out. This is pretty nasty. I would normally replace it at this point. These start out white. That tells you how dirty it is. Okay, these start out white. And normally I would replace this, but I don't have any filters on hand with me, so I'm not going to replace it. I'm just going to put it in the bucket that has the tank water in. Don't ever use tap water. I'm already over on my time. Jeez. This will be a two-part video. Here's the bio balls, and then below that, if I can get down there, there's a blue filter pad. Okay, and then below that, or here's one right here, are ceramic noodles. Looks just like this. Okay, and then so it's the bio balls, it's the white filter on top, then the bio balls, then the blue filter pad, which is thicker, which you can replace if you need to, but I don't usually replace it. So we'll start from the bottom. It'll be the cage, this facing down like this, and then ceramic noodles, which look like this. Okay, and then the blue filter pad, and then the bio balls, and then the white filter pad. Okay, they have to be, and when you first get it, you have to rinse everything out because it's got dust and stuff in it. Rinse everything out when you first get them. Okay, and then set it up just like I told you. This on the bottom facing down like this. Ceramic noodles. Okay, ceramic noodles, blue filter pad, bio balls, and then white filter pad. And then this at the top facing up like this. Okay? Anyways, so we're going to clean out this white filter pad since I don't have another one to replace it with, and it's kind of falling apart. So they may do that depending on how long you've had them in your filter. They will start falling apart and you'll have to replace them, but this one's really falling apart. So I might have to make an emergency trip to Pueblo to get some new ones. Actually, no, because they don't sell these filter pads in the stores. You have to buy them online. Okay, so I'm going to clean out this filter pad and then put it back together. Put the canister back together. Okay, so I've got my filter pad cleaned out now, and you saw how nasty it was. It's a lot better than it was. I'm going to have to replace it. It shouldn't look like this. Okay? When you put it back in, it should not look like this, all torn up like this. Okay? So but I don't have any extra filters with me, so I'm just going to make the best of what I have. Okay? And spread it out back on the bottom, over the bio balls. Put this piece on top like such. And I almost forgot about the hoses. I got to clean all those out too. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Oh yeah, the siphon, that's where the siphon comes in handy. You use the siphon to rinse everything out, okay? Don't ever use tap water. Tap water is bad juju for your tank. Kills all the good bacteria. So we're going to start with the big hoses, okay? Big hoses. And this is about how long it goes. It starts from, it's about maybe 4 or 5 feet long. And it's all, when it's all the way straightened out, yeah, it's about 4 or 5 feet. When it's all the way straightened out, and plus the valves. Okay, so good thing about the valves, making it easier to clean. I told you that earlier, I think. Makes it easier to clean out the hoses. Ah, there was water in there. So I just got a little bit wet. Because you can take it apart. Okay, and then it puts the hoses into 2 pieces. And it's not as long, it's easier to clean out. Okay, so what you're going to do, because doing this one-handed is not going to work, because it takes 2 hands. So I'm going to do my best. That water's pretty nasty from the filter, okay, but use 1 bucket of water per filter. Okay, put it in the water, and then from one end, get the this thingy. Get your snake. It's got the scrubby ends. and put it all the way through the other end of the hose and pull it all the way back. And do it multiple times. Make sure it's really clean, and then you're going to get the end of the siphon and you're going to stick it in there and rinse it out, and then you're done with that hose. So I'm going to do that with the big pieces, and then I'll show you the little pieces, the little hoses. Alright? So I'll be right back. Okay, so I cleaned out the bigger hoses, got them all cleaned out. Okay? And the smaller hoses, they have some more steps than the bigger hoses. Okay? And I forgot to mention, your filter also comes with one of these. Okay, this is a carbon filter. It's activated carbon, and it'll actually, if you choose to use it, but you don't have to, it'll go on top of the white filter, underneath the green cage. Okay, I don't use it because mainly what it does is it removes excess medication from your water. Okay, and I don't use that because then you have to turn off your filters and take it out every time you medicate. So I just don't keep it in there. Right, and you don't have to keep it in there. It's not something that's required. But that's personal preference. If you want to do that, that's fine. Okay? Okay, so with the smaller hoses, as I said, there were more steps. Okay? What you're going to do is the main longest piece of hose, you're going to do the same thing with those hoses that you did with those ones. You're going to take your snake, run it all the way through to the end, and all the way back several times to get all the gunk out. It's mainly algae that grows in there, but you'll get all the gunk out and then rinse it out with the siphon. Okay? So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what I did is I cleaned out these small hoses, ran this all the way through to the end and all the way back several times so it gets nice and clean. Okay, and then I went to the back of the tank and I grabbed these. Okay, this is the intake. This is the piece of hard plastic. This one right here, where my pinky is at, that's the spray bar. And then this is that little piece of hose that I told you you're going to have to cut. Okay, and that little piece of hard green corner plastic, I guess you could call it. Okay, so what you're going to do with these is essentially the same thing you did with all the other hoses. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Okay? Okay, so what I've done just now is I cleaned out all these pieces, got them all cleaned out, rinsed them out, and now what you're going to do basically is put it all back together, okay, the way you originally had it set up. If you haven't set it up yet, I guess I'm going to have to show you how to do that. Okay, so I showed you how this gets set up, okay, so what you're going to do is, I actually don't have all my clips because some of them got lost, but if you have at least 3 clips on there and have them at different points, it'll keep it shut so it won't leak all over the place. Okay, so you're gonna get your lid, and that's been cleaned, whatever. Get your lid, put your lid back on. Okay, and it might be tricky at first to get it on, might be a little bit difficult to get it to go on. Okay, and then flip all your clips. What the heck is that? That's new. Oh, it's going out of focus. I don't know what that is. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I'll look at it later. Okay, flip your clips up, and then put your hose pieces, put it all back together. Okay, let's see if I can film this. Put all your hose pieces back together, line up your switches, get it. Okay, and then make sure you have the end that goes out at the top of the tank. This is the top hose, okay, and then you stick it on there like so, as far down as you can get it, and then screw the nut on, and then it'll stay. Okay, put everything back together, and then so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put everything back together and get it all set up, and then show you how to put it on your tank if you don't already know how. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got everything, almost everything, put back on the tank where it goes. I've got the intake, U-bend pipe type thing, I guess, put back, and then the spray bar put back, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put your canister back underneath your tank, and then attach the pieces, the